I'm Patrick Hubbard, the founder and president of Living Bread Ministries. My wife and I founded Living Bread in 2004, and we're leading the ministry day to day, planting churches among the global poor.
I'm Barbara Hubbard. I'm the Director of Administration and Short-Term Missions for Living Bread Ministries. I head the operations here stateside of the office and lead our teams to visit our church plants and minister down in Brazil.
Globally, there's a deficit of church planting among the poor. It's not often to find church planting movements among the very poor because it's difficult to plant churches among the poor. They don't have the financial resources to fund a church plant, and there's a lot of obstacles with drug addiction and crime and violence, and this keeps people out of the poor communities. But that's exactly why we're there. We believe that to make an impact, a local church has to be established. We don't buy into the divorce of social ministry and spiritual ministry. We believe that we can go in among the poor, we can plant a local church that boldly proclaims the gospel, but also practically lives it out in tangible ways. One of the core values at Living Bread Ministries is interdependence. When you think interdependence, think about the body. Each part of the body is interly dependent upon another. We believe it's the same way with church planting. As Western organizations are able to bring their resources and expertise, we're able to partner with the local community, and they bring their understanding of the community as well as their own resources, and we're all able to pull those together and to function as one interdependent unit, planting a church among the poor in a way that is contextually relevant for that community. And it also prevents Westerners from imposing an outside view upon the local body.
We work behind the scenes. We come in and empower the locals to minister to their own people. By doing that, not only we're building them up and encouraging them, but we are eliminating a lot of training involved. We don't have to worry about language training. We don't have to worry about culture training. When you work with the poor in any community anywhere in the world, they are a subculture. And so when we look for pastors, we look for people that come from a similar background so that they can better relate to the people. By using natives, they know what the needs of their own people are, and they can relate to them a lot better than we can. And as a church plant grows and gets established, there is no need to pass on the baton to the locals because it was their work from the beginning.
We look for a place where the Spirit is already working. We look for a pastor or a man of God who's already ministering and pouring out his life in a community. And then we seek to come alongside them and assist them in answering God's call. In early 2004, after having spent a year in prayer seeking God's face, Barbara and I stepped out to begin Living Bread Ministries. It was a drastic life change for us because it required walking away from our careers and committing to live by faith. And we thought in the beginning that it was a no-brainer that the ministry would grow and people would get behind it quickly. And the Lord took us on a different journey, and we really struggled for about 6 years to get the ministry up and going. It consumed most of our life savings. We lived well below the poverty level in the U.S. But I think through that, the Lord has really taught us to be able to identify with the poor in a way that the average Westerner can't.
And the past year, the Lord has just blessed exceedingly and abundantly. We had a parsonage donated to the ministry. So we have been able to expand our church planting efforts in Brazil. We are expanding it into Thailand, and it has been amazing to see what the Lord has done in the past 9 years.
As we expand into Asia, one of the things we believe missional church planting among the global poor can greatly impact is the human trafficking that's so prevalent in Southeast Asia. We believe that missional church planting among the poor is the best approach to impact human trafficking because we're able to prevent the young people and women from going into the sex industry to begin with. And we ask you to get involved and to help us to continue this church planting movement among the global poor.